Hey there. Welcome back to our AI in Action series here on Tech Savvy 101, your go-to podcast for learning how to use AI tools in real time. I'm Sarah Baker, your tech savvy bestie with another time-saving AI trick that's going to make your life so much easier. Whether you're an experienced AI user or just getting the hang of things when it comes to artificial intelligence, stick with me as I share some of my favorite tips, tricks, tools, and shortcuts to save you hours each week within your business. In these episodes, I'm not just talking about AI tools, I'm showing you how to use them in real time. If you're listening to this episode right now, don't worry, you'll find the YouTube link to this episode in the show notes. Feel free to listen along right now and then grab the link afterward. Let's get started. Here's what you can expect from today's episode. We're going to continue with our deep dive into ChatGPT. Today, I'm going to be walking you through how to set up your own ChatGPT account step by step. By the end of today's episode, you're going to be ready to rock and roll and start using ChatGPT confidently. Whether you're starting fresh or you're going to upgrade your plan from maybe the free account to the pro account, I'm going to make it super simple and you can get started in under 10 minutes. Make sure to subscribe to my podcast so that you don't miss the rest of this series and leave a review if you feel like these tutorials are helping you so far. Let me know in the comments what other AI tools you'd like me to cover in future episodes. There's a link where you can actually just send me a text message and let me know what other tools you're interested in learning about. So first things first, we are going to open up ChatGPT. This is what the home screen looks like. If you didn't catch the last episode of AI in Action, I encourage you to check that out because that's where we went over the basics of ChatGPT. Now, I have the Pro plan. I'm going to close the sidebar, but this is what the sidebar looks like, and it's where it's going to pull up all of your past projects. I am already signed in, which you can see over here. But if you were not signed in, then you would sign up. So actually, what we'll do is pull up an incognito window. We're going to go to ChatGPT. This is what it looks like when you pull up ChatGPT and you are not logged in. So you would either sign up or log in. If you have never signed up before, then you would click sign up. You can either log in with a Google account, a Microsoft account, continue with an Apple account, or sign up with a brand new account. So I have logged in with one account. It's going to prompt you to sign up with a password and go through the verification steps and all of that. I encourage you, if you have never used ChatGPT before, to log in start with a basic free account. It's great. And it'll help you to get your feet wet, so to speak. I'm going to flip back over to my paid account for a moment to show you some of the other settings and some of the other features. Give me one moment. All right. I logged in. I paused the recording so that no one got my login details. So what I want to also reiterate regarding the difference between the paid plan and the free plan is that there are differences in the output that you will get. I love the free plan if you are brand new to ChatGPT and you're testing it out and you're just learning how to make it all work. However, I'm going to drag in my notes. You should be able to see this now. Regarding the free plan and the pro plan. I have the pro plan. I will never go back to the free plan. I honestly, when I signed up, I was like, I'm going to test this out for 1 month and just see how it all works. Totally thinking I'd go back to the free plan. I will never go back. It is worth every single penny. It is the best investment I've ever made for my business. For $20 a month, I feel like I get that $20 a month in a single day. I want to show the difference here between what you get on the free plan and the pro plan and the search volume and the data, as well as the fact that on the free plan, the access it is not accessing, I'm not saying it right, but it is not accessing real-time data. It is accessing information from years ago, if that makes sense, as well as the reasoning and the speed and the conciseness. If you are listening to the podcast, I highly suggest that you check out the YouTube link so that you can see the visual that I'm showing on the screen right now, looking at the legacy versus GPT-4o, which is the most current version as of January 2025 when I'm recording this episode. It's like a tiny fleck, like a seed size versus this gigantic dot on the screen. The information that the paid version has is just so much more robust. The data output that you get is light years ahead, especially if you're going to be using it for your business. It's worth it. You get so much more. So, like I said, my recommendation is test it. It's a 1-month commitment. Test it out. Compare what you get from the free version and the paid version. If you're going to be using it a lot for research, and obviously, like we discussed on the last episode, always fact check. But I highly, highly recommend, especially if you're going to be using it for market research and coming up with lots of ideas, it's worth it. So that's my 2 cents. However, let's go back over to learning how to set up your account. So you've signed up, whether it's the free or the pro plan. Now we are going to set up your settings. So we've gotten used to the general interface. Obviously, this is kind of like a text message box. You're going to enter your prompt here. We're going to be talking more about prompts on the next episode. And I talked earlier about this is the sidebar where all of your past prompts and chats live. I highly recommend that you name your chats so you can keep them all straight. Some of the examples I gave from the last episode live over here. The top AI tools for entrepreneurs. That was one of the chats that I gave as an example yesterday. That one lives here. Now, if there are examples that you are giving or searches or chats that you're using that you aren't going to be using, you can, as you see, if you click on the 3 dots, you can rename it, you can archive it, and you can delete it. For example, I was recently at dinner with a friend who is a teacher, and she was asking me about ChatGPT. She'd heard about it. She had friends who were using ChatGPT to help them with lesson plans. And she was asking me, how does it work? So I have the app on my phone. I whipped out my phone, and in about 90 seconds, I showed her how I could create about a month's worth of lesson plans about the Arctic, polar bears and seals and penguins for her, and how to prompt it. And I think I blew her mind over margaritas and queso. And then she said, can you share that with me? And then I shared it and sent it to her. It is important to note, once you share a chat, the person you share it with can no longer continue to prompt on that. But if you get really, really good information and you have a really, really good, whether it's a blog post or emails or ideas, and you want to share it with someone, instead of having to copy and paste and then send it, you can just share the ChatGPT thread. So that's a really cool thing. Or if you have a project, as you can see up at the top, I've got a super prompt project. You can add it to the project to keep everything together. Think of projects like folders. Or if you've got something that is no longer relevant, you can archive it. And I'll show you where to access your archived projects or archived threads. And then you can also delete something. I tend to archive instead of deleting. But more importantly, you can also rename it so that you're not going through and trying to find something after the fact. So be really specific with what they are. And it's nice that they are also dated, previous 7 days, yesterday, and more than 30 days. The only things I really delete are like the Arctic project. Once I shared it with her, I deleted it because it is not relevant to my business. I don't need to hold on to a 30-day lesson plan about penguins. And then up here, these are custom GPTs. I will get into that in a future episode. That will be a longer Thursday episode because custom GPTs take more time. But make sure you subscribe because custom GPTs are really cool. So that is the left-hand bar so that you can come back and continue to iterate on those projects. So make sure that you are coming back to those. All right. So that's the sidebar. And then we're going to get into the settings. So it's actually hidden under here, but we're going to go into your settings. And over here, we've got all these cool features. In general, you can change the theme to light or dark. You can change your language to auto English. It supports a huge number of languages. In here, you could archive all of your chats or manage your archive chats. Like I mentioned earlier, you could delete everything, you could log out. Under personalization, this is where I want to really highlight that you can add custom instructions. I personally do not, because occasionally I do research or use my ChatGPT to work for my clients. And if I have custom instructions in here, it will always default to my custom instructions, such as my brand voice or information about my business. And that's like when in the last episode, when I was saying how my ChatGPT knows a lot about my business, my brand voice, my offers. And therefore it offers up when I offer a new prompt, it automatically suggests information about my product suite because I have trained it. However, if I had information in my custom instructions, even when I was working on information about my customers, it would automatically try to input my product suite. So that's why I don't have information in here in my custom instructions. However, if you are only working on your own business, I highly recommend that you put in information such as your brand voice and your product suite. This is a fantastic way to further customize your ChatGPT account and get really, really juicy custom information and custom output that is unique to you and your business. So you can do this either on the web or in the app. And this is where you would put this. And in the second box, how would you like ChatGPT to respond? You can have it respond to you with your name or a title or how long or how short you would like your responses to be. So if you want really lengthy responses, if you would like them to respond to you in a very formal manner or a very casual manner, if you want ChatGPT to have opinions on topics or remain neutral, you can put all of that in here. It is important to note you have a 1,500 character limit. So this is a really, really cool feature. Other things that we can do in the settings are to control the speech. If you are going to be using the ChatGPT app, this is one of my very favorite things to do. Often I feel like inspiration hits me when I'm in the car because I'm a mom of 3 and I'm always in the car because I am a personal unpaid Uber driver for all of my kids' activities. And I use the app all the time, and I will pull up the app and hit the speech button, and I will just brain dump and say, all the things that hit me while I'm at a red light, and just say, here's what I'm thinking about, and just kind of dump it into ChatGPT, and then let ChatGPT organize my thoughts. And half the time, that's when I have my best ideas. You can again, auto detect the language or set the language, and then you can also choose the voice of your ChatGPT assistant. This is also where you would input things like data controls, sharing links, exporting data. You can add in your website if you're going to be building custom GPTs, like I mentioned earlier. We will get into that later. You can connect your social medias. You can connect your Google Drive, your Microsoft OneDrive. This is where you would set up multi-factor authentication and other security. And then also, if you do have a paid account, this is where you would either manage that or change your payment settings. So that is all of the fun behind the scenes settings. Congratulations. You are now officially set up and you are ready to start using ChatGPT in your business. Whether you're going to be using it for brainstorming ideas, writing content, or saving time, it is an incredible tool, and it's only going to get better as we go deeper into this series. In the next episode on AI in Action, we're going to be diving into how to craft your first prompt so you can start getting exactly what you need from ChatGPT every single time. And there you have it, another time-saving AI trick ready for you to start using today. If you want to see exactly how I did this, check out the video demo in the show notes or catch me on YouTube. Come back next week for another AI in Action tip that'll have you working smarter, not harder. Thanks for hanging out with me here today on Tech Savvy 101. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss another episode of this series, and leave a review if today's episode got you feeling excited and more confident about using AI in your own business. I'll see you really soon.